Good morning to all. 8th standard biology. Reaching the age of adolescence. Okay. Today we study about the lesson reaching the age of adolescence. The previous sessions we study about adolescence and puberty, changes at puberty, increase in height, change in body shape, voice change, Adam's apples also, and increase activity of sweat and sebaceous gland, reaching mental and intellectual and emotional maturity also. Okay. Next we study about secondary sexual characters and also role of hormones in initiating reproductive functions also. Okay. Today we study about reproductive phase of life in humans. You take a page number in your science book 118. 118. Okay. Reproductive phase of life in humans. Okay. The reproductive phase of life in humans is different for males and females. Okay. In humans, males and females become sexually active when they reach adolescence. At this stage of life, they become capable of reproduction for males and reach of adolescence. At this stage of life, they become capable of reproduction. For males and the testes, and for females, the ovaries begin to produce gametes. The capacity for maturation and production of gamete lasts for much longer in males for over females. In males, production of sperms start at the age of between the age of 12 to 16 and continue throughout the entire lifetime. The phase of female reproductive cycle start around 10 to 12 years of age and last till 45 to 50 years. Okay. The ova or the egg begins to mature with the onset of puberty. One ova matures and is released by the ovary every 28 to 30 days. Okay. During this period, the wall of the uterus becomes thick, so it can receive the egg in case the egg is fertilized and begins to develop. A fertilized egg results in pregnancy, and if it is not fertilized, then the released egg and the thickened lining of the uterus along with the blood vessel are shed off. Okay. This takes place through a process known as menstruation, and it generally occurs every 28 days to 30 days. The first menstrual flow that begins at the start of puberty is known as menarche, and it continues till 45 years to 50 years. Give or take. The stoppage of menstruation is known as menopause. Okay, the stoppage of menstruation is known as menopause. At first, the menstrual cycle can be irregular. However, in time it becomes regular. Women's reproductive life cycle menstruation cycle phases are 4 phases. Okay. The day count for the menstrual cycle in adolescent females begins on the first day of menstruation when blood comes out of the vagina. The entire length of the cycle is around 28 days, taken as an average in all females. The entire duration of one menstrual cycle is divided into 4 phases. These are the following: menstrual phases day 1 to 5, follicular phases day 1 to 13, ovulation phases day 13, luteal phases day 15 to 28. First, menstrual phase. The menstrual phase start on the first day of the menstruation and continues until the fifth day of the menstrual cycle. It starts as the uterus shed the inner soft tissue and blood vessels which exist the body from the vagina as menstrual fluid. Around 10 ml to 80 ml of blood loss takes place. Adolescent female may experience abdominal cramps during the phase, which are caused by the contraction of the uterine and the abdominal muscles to expel the menstrual fluid. Follicular phases. Second one, follicular phases. The start of the follicular phase coincides with the first day of the menstruation. However, the phase lasts until the 30th day of the complete menstrual cycle. In this phase, the pituitary gland secretes a hormone that stimulates egg cells in the ovaries to grow. One of the egg cells starts to mature in a sac-like structure called follicle. And it takes a full 13 days for the egg cell to reach complete menstruation. When the egg cell matures, the follicle secretes the hormone that stimulates the uterus to develop a lining of blood vessels and the endometrium. It's a soft tissues. Third phase is ovulation phases. This stage takes place on the 14th day of the cycle. The phase starts as the pituitary gland secretes a hormone that causes the ovary to release the mature egg cell, which is then swept up into the fallopian tube. This takes place with the help of the cilia of the fimbriae. Fimbriae are finger-like projections which are observed at the end of the fallopian tube close to the ovaries. The cilia are hair-like projections found on the fimbriae. Okay. Last stage, luteal phase. Okay, the last stage. The luteal phase begins on the 15th day of the menstrual cycle. The matured egg cell is released during the ovulation and the follicle is ruptured and it stays on the surface of the ovary. The next 2 weeks and the follicle transforms into a structure known as corpus luteum. The corpus luteum at this time releases progesterone with small amounts of estrogen. The hormones maintain the thickened line of the uterus whilst waiting for a fertilized egg to implant on the wall. If a fertilized egg is implanted on the wall of the uterus, it starts producing hormones which are necessary to maintain corpus luteum. One such hormone is human chorionic gonadotropin. Okay. If pregnancy does not occur, then the egg cell disintegrates along with the corpus luteum. There is a drop in progesterone levels which causes the lining of the uterus to fall away in process called menstruation, and then the cycle starts again. Okay, this way the reproductive phases life in humans. Okay, next session we study about how is the sex of the baby determined. Thank you.